Hi there, Sufi Julian. I recently got a comment on the vulnerability of a side neutral stance against straight front kick to the groin. Now, the side neutral stance is a very useful position. Basic neutral stance is when you have your feet forward. The advantages of a neutral stance are utmost mobility. You can step forward with either leg, you can step sideways and you can move backward with either leg. This stance is generally for training or a natural position, natural stance when you deal with someone. A fighting neutral stance is side on. You're turning your pelvis, minimizing your target area. This is a side neutral stance. It gives you all the same attributes for mobility from a natural neutral stance, but you minimize target area. So it is a fighting neutral stance. Now, the neutral stance should be employed at a non-contact stage. Okay, so John, can I just borrow you again, please? Okay, we'll look at the stages of combat. The first stage of combat is non-contact, where we're outside of physical range. If we extend our arms, we cannot even physically touch each other. When you're at this range, you cannot kick or punch each other from this range. The next stage, if I take one step forward, is now contact stage. If I extend my arm out, we can now make contact without extended arms. If our hands are up like this, from this range we can start pouring at each other's guards. Let's come forward a little bit. Pouring at each other's guards, and I cannot reach from the rear leg I can't reach with the front leg without stepping up first, which takes two movements, or I can kick directly one movement from the rear leg. Now, if I take one more step, now we're at exchange stage. Exchange stage means we can both exchange blows to the head and the body. Okay, so the side neutral stance is generally done from a non-contact stage. If we extend out, we're using a side neutral stance from here. Now, if you're just front onto me, and he takes one step forward, I'm getting off the line of force. I use this strategy to get off to the side, assuming our opponent is bigger and stronger on the street. We often don't want to meet that force directly. We don't want to meet the person directly because they have height, weight, and strength advantages. So to meet them directly can be detrimental because they knock into you, they can knock you over, you can lose your position. So he takes one step in, now he can reach me with that back leg. So take the step back. So start from a neutral again. He steps in. As he's stepping in, I take the position away from him. He can't reach me with the rear leg now. He has to physically turn. As he turns, that's when you create your opening. Okay. Now, the other option is, as he goes from a non-contact position into contact, you kick. So, as he's stepping from that non-contact stage, you kick and moving into exchange stage. Now, so, really the question was, is the side neutral stance vulnerable to front kick? Yes, if you're using it at the wrong range. Now, if I'm at non-contact and using a neutral stance or a side neutral stance, and I want to move into him, I will then employ the front stance. I will come into a front stance. I won't be here in a neutral stance. The front stance gives you the stability to generate force with your strikes, because you have that lateral position, you have that supporting leg, and also give you a position to block with your stance. All right, so the attributes of a side neutral stance or neutral stance are mobility. The disadvantages are, well, if you use it at the wrong range, yes, it's vulnerable to the front kick. But you shouldn't use it at contact or exchange stage. You should be essentially using your side neutral stance at non-contact. I hope this answers your question. All right.